Hello boys and girls, welcome to my preview of Arsenal against Valencia, Europa League semi-final, 2 games away from a European final. Now, I know things have not been great lately. You look at our last 3 games, 3 defeats, 9 goals conceded, and there's a kind of a bad feeling around the club at the moment. But in European competition, we seem to wake up, we seem to put performances in. You look at the quarter-final games. When we drew Napoli, everyone thought, that's it, done and dusted, Arsenal are out, may as well pack up and go home. Now, we end up winning that one 3-0 on aggregate. We don't even concede a goal over the 2 legs. Valencia, though, it's going to be a very different game. They're currently 6th in La Liga, but we don't have a great record against Spanish sides in knockout competitions. Now, here's an interesting stat. Valencia have actually lost less games this season than Real Madrid. Their problem is drawing games. Now, they've only lost 7, but the amount they've drawn is the reason why they sit in 6th place. Now, they're only 3 points away from a Champions League spot themselves, but this, just like Arsenal, could be their main avenue back into the Champions League. We cannot take this game for granted. We cannot go into it thinking we're going to walk all over them, because it will not end up like that. We need to put the same kind of performance in that we did against Napoli, with the same mindset. And most importantly, we need to go and get a big win in the home leg without conceding a away goal. Now, you look at our defence over recent weeks, that's easier said than done, because we've been diabolical. And if we defend anything like we have done in those league games in this game, then we're going to come unstuck. And it's very, very simple. Now, there's a couple of familiar faces with Valencia that you may well recognise. First of all, Francis Coquelin coming back to Arsenal. Now, a few years ago, you remember Francis Coquelin, and he wasn't getting in the side. He was going out on loan, and he was actually on loan at Charlton at one point when we brought him back to the club because we had a massive injury crisis. Now, I remember going to a game away to West Ham, and the team was announced, and Francis Coquelin was in the central defensive midfield area, and I was thinking, oh my word, what is going on here? He ended up being man of the match that game, and he was absolutely superb. Then over the course of the next year or so, he cemented himself within the side as being one of the main players. He was absolutely immense. And you were thinking, we finally found that man, that defensive midfielder, that enforcer. Thierry Henry nicknamed him the policeman because he used to just patrol everything in front of the back 4. I remember a performance away from home to Manchester City when we won 2-0, and he was absolutely exceptional. And then Santi Cazorla got injured. It really is that simple. Cazorla got injured, and Coquelin's performances just dipped alarmingly, to the point that within a year or so, he was sold to Valencia. He's been at Arsenal since he was a kid. If you actually listen to him, he's French, but he sounds like a Londoner. He's been there for that long. So it'd be quite a big game for him, and he's going to want to come and prove a point, that's for sure. And I'm sure, most definitely, he will get a really warm welcome. The other player is Gabriel Paulista. Now, you remember him, centre-back, and there were times when you watched this guy and he looked exceptional as a defender. And there were times you watched him and he looked like Bambi on ice. But given the situation and the fact that we've now got Mustafi, you sit there and think to yourself, maybe we got the short end of the straw. Why did we actually sell him? What would this player be like under Unai Emery? He's thriving in Spain. He's doing very well. And yeah, it does raise that question. Did we sell him too soon? I know the price we sold him for was ridiculous in today's market when you think of the kind of money that players are going for. But yeah, it's one of those. He's going to be fired up for this, and he's got a point to prove to try and show that he shouldn't have actually left Arsenal and he was given the short end of the straw. So yeah, very interesting. And like I said, Valencia, they're no mugs. They've got a very, very good side. If they get an away goal, they're the type of side that can shut up shop, and they can try and, you know, sit and contain and go back to the Mestalla with a very good result. Last time out in the league, they lost. 1-0, very late goal, and they lost that one at home as well, but I suppose you can look at that and maybe think that they've got their eye on this game. One before that, they lost to Atletico Madrid 3-2, and that was away, but they scored 2 away goals, so we don't need any of that when we're playing. No away goals, please, my word. They've got 3 La Liga games left, so 4th place is there for the taking. They've also got a Copa del Rey final at the end of the season against Barcelona. So like I said, they are no mugs, and we cannot take this game lightly, and the team selection is going to be key for this game. So hopefully Unai Emery gets it right. So anyway, with that said, let's go and get into that predicted lineup. Starting off in goal, Bernd Leno. Very, very straightforward decision for me, this one. I think this is our priority now, and the Premier League is the one that we have to put to the side. So if you want to give Petr Cech a send-off and you want to give him that farewell, let him play the final 2 Premier League games. This is more important. I'm sorry, for as well as Petr Cech's done, and he hasn't really done anything wrong in this competition, Bernd Leno is our best goalkeeper, and we need to play him. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. I'm going to go into the back line, and I feel that we're going to go for a 3 with this back line. Starting off with Laurent Koscielny, not a great performance against Leicester, to be quite honest with you, and he needs to fix up, because if he plays anything like that, we will come unstuck, and it's very, very simple. Alongside him, I'm going to go with Socrates, and again, just like the Leicester game, needs to fix up because he was absolutely diabolical for that one. He's going to need to be very calm, very composed. I'm not saying that Spanish teams and players dive around everywhere, but you need to just be careful, and you need to, have your wits about you. Especially in European competition with foreign referees, they give lots of fouls, and it's very different to the Premier League. And Socrates is one of those players that can draw in those fouls and get booked. And he has been sent off in this competition already, and we don't need that. So he's going to have to, sort himself out for this one, but I think he'll be fine. Alongside him, I'm going to bring back Nacho Monreal. Missed the game against Leicester because of a minor injury. But I think he'll be all right, and he'll be back for this game. And the one thing with him, he's going to have to watch out what happens in the channels. It's as simple as that. Watch out for the balls down the side and everything else. Sorts that out, he'll be absolutely fine. Going to move to the wing-back positions. First of all, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Of course, he ain't suspended for this because his suspension only counts in the Premier League. But he's going to have to make sure that he's got his wits about him as well. And he's going to have to make sure that he sorts himself out for this game. Strong performance needed, and not the kind of performance that we saw against Leicester, that's for sure. In the left wing-back position, I'm going to go with Kolasinac. And the guy's frustrated me a hell of a lot over the last few weeks. And the one thing I say about him is that he gets into those attacking areas so well. So well. But it's his final delivery. It's absolutely dreadful. And he needs to sort that out. Because if we get some chances in this game, he's going to have to deliver. And he's going to have to put them on the money. And it's that simple. I'm going to go into the centre of midfield. First of all, Lucas Torreira. Cannot fault this guy for his work rate, his effort, and his fight and everything else. But the performance against Leicester was just not good enough. And I know it's very difficult when you've got a load of people around you that are not performing as well. But he's going to really have to dig this one out. And I think that he will. And I've got no problems with this Lucas Torreira. Alongside him, Granit Xhaka. And he's going to need to fix up for this game. Him and Torreira are our best centre, pairing. But against Leicester, they looked absolutely dreadful. And Granit Xhaka was letting the likes of Maddison drop behind him and stuff. You can't have that. We're going to have to be really, really strong in the tackle, really forceful. But also be careful with the referee that he don't give too much away. Just put that performance in that we know that you have done throughout the majority of this season. Don't give the ball away. Don't give them any chances. And we will be absolutely fine. In the attacking areas, first of all, I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil, back from his little injury for the Leicester game. And I think that, he performs at home, don't he? And these are the kind of games are key, and he's going to be able to open up doors, and he's going to be able to unlock defences. The likes of Francis Coquelin will be sitting in and around him, and they'll both know how each other plays. So Mesut Ozil, got no problem with this one whatsoever. As the attacking two, I suppose you go left and kind of floating around is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he is going to have to fix up for this game. His work rate was absolutely diabolical in the Leicester game, and I said it on AFTV after. I cannot, stress enough how important it is to work hard. If you don't get the service, the supply and everything else, you can look at the other issues around you and excuse, not scoring goals and whatnot. But the work rate, you cannot excuse that. No excuse whatsoever. Work hard, put the ball in the back of the net. It's as simple as that. We need him to turn up in this game. And if he does, we'll be fine. Up front, as the main striker, Alexandre Lacazette. Again, this guy I can't fault for his work rate, but what he was doing against Leicester, not good enough. The ball was not sticking to him. I don't think a lot of the balls were played into him correctly because they were trying to, get him to win headers against the likes of Maguire. Isn't going to happen, is it? But for this game, completely different style. And he's going to have his work cut out against the likes of Gabriel. Very strong, very quick, very powerful. But I feel that with the ball in and around his feet, Lacazette can get those half a yards. And that's where maybe Gabriel has his weaknesses. And if he gets that half a yard, he's got to take his chances. It is as simple as that. So there we go. That is it. That is my preview. That is my predicted 1 to 11. It's do or die for Arsenal now. It really is that simple. Unai Emery has to get his tactics spot on. He has to get the lineup right. And more importantly, the players need to go out and implement them tactics. They need to go up, stand up, be counted, and actually put a performance in, because the last 3 performances in the league have been unacceptable. We are 2 games away from a European final. I don't care if it's the Europa League. It's a European final. You have a chance to write your name in the history books of Arsenal Football Club. It's that simple. Go out there and show exactly what this means, because I know how much it means to the fans, and we're going to create an unbelievable atmosphere on Thursday. Trust me, I know what's about to happen there. I know what's planned. It's down to you lot to go and put the performance on the pitch. We'll be your 12th man. Don't let us down. That's all I can say on the matter. So anyway, it's over to them. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. There'll be a player ratings after the game, and we will see where we are. Until that video, I'll see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.